Yeah, bro, I got no words for this. He's just straight tweaking. So I've had my fair share of seeing crazy ass characters in so many different types of shows and movies, but ever since I've been introduced to Gachiakuta, this dude Jabber gotta be up there for one of the craziest motherfuckers I've ever encountered. He is the complete opposite of a nonchalant dreadhead. In fact, he is the most chalant dreadhead you gonna ever find in your entire life. The literal embodiment of talent in the hands of a jester. And for y'all to comprehend just how much this motherfucker be off the perk, I gotta show y'all some of the fights he's been in so far. Because the very first time we see this motherfucker throw down, he snuck Zanka after bro just had to deal with a 2v1. And dog, what could bro possibly be smiling about? Bro is smiling like Shinra, and he pulling up like death from Puss in Boots. Like dog, the combo of these two characters alone gotta be illegal or something. Matter of fact, that's a foul on the play. Ref, please do something. This is unnecessary sneaking. This man gotta go, bruh. And even Zanka knew in that moment he was cooked. Cause the second bro heard Jabber talking behind him, he turned to the screen and was looking at me like motherfuckers when they get caught cheating in a loyalty test. Straight and utter disbelief. And a few moments later, Zanka got laid out and paralyzed, while Jabber dips, ends up catching up to Rudo and the rest of the cleaners, and starts analyzing Rudo in vivid detail like he's painting the Mona Lisa, being like, got white hair, shorter than my mom, looks like a bitch. I see. I've been looking for you, twin! Pause this shit. First off, this dude needs to back the fuck up away from the camera. I can smell the craziness from across the screen. And second, bro was in such a stationary position, and then without any warning zips past all of them and just jumps on the wall behind Rudo like his name's Spider-Man. Like that gotta be breaking some rules of physics, Newton's law or some shit. Not to mention, bro is digging his fingernails through pure concrete and just shatter the wall like it's nothing. This dude gotta be a descendant or come from a family of break eaters or something, cause bro, hell no. Then he wanna try aura farm with his dreads, being like, I'm about to sign out. I know y'all see my long ass dreads, ain't they clean? Acting like motherfuckers when they get a V-loan tee, just trying to flex that shit every chance they get. So Gris and Folo try to jump this man, but he hit them with a weave, springs back on his hand, and spinning kicks both of them. And Gris gets in front of Rudo trying to protect him, while Rudo was like, hey bro, out the way, I got this shit. And Jabbers looks like, motherfucker, you ain't noticed? I shaked his ass. Bro deadass cut him right in front of Rudo, and dog ain't even noticed. And this had Rudo tight as fuck. So he ended up grabbing Gris's amulet, and bro, this dude deadass summoned a guardian angel from this amulet. Like, what? Like, I know he can draw out the most potential out of any object he touches, but bro, I didn't know that meant he could become God. Cause bro, if we're being for real here, this motherfucker just created a whole other living entity with a whole functioning eyeball. Like, alright, whatever, bro. But whether you're a fan of Gachiakuta or not, you can't lie that they got one of the most creative power systems in anime. And after Rudo summoned this bullshit, him and Jabber got to throwing hands. And at first glance, Rudo was low-key cooking him. And it was thanks to this OPS amulet he was using, because he could quite literally not get hit, which is genuinely broken as fuck, because the amulet would make him weave out of the way, or the amulet would completely negate the damage, because Jabber was seen as a hostile threat. And with hacks like this man Rudo was moving clean as hell. I can't even lie. Bro had Jabber on all fours like a damn dog, with him bouncing around the room fast as fuck. But Rudo wasn't phased one bit, as no matter how fast Jabber was, Rudo was reading his ass like a novel and clocked his ass without even looking. Hit him with the damn mink, 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 along with the meanest two-piece I don't ever seen from a little ass teenager. But despite getting his ass cooked by a 15-year-old, Jabber was still laughing. In chat, y'all know what they say about a motherfucker who laughs when they get hit? This nigga is crazy. So this dude Jabber resorts to one of the wildest methods I've seen from a motherfucker trying to fight back. He finds a loophole within Rudo's amulet, saying that it only reacted to hostility. So he stabs himself with his own neurotoxin claws, you know, the same ones that paralyzed Zanka and laid him out a few minutes earlier, in order to go into this non-sentient like state where he technically didn't have any hostility but was unconsciously lashing out like a wild animal. And as he passed out from the neurotoxin, his body started moving. And bro, look at this motherfucker eyes. This was deadass the equivalent of mixing up a bunch of drugs and seeing what'll happen. But as much as I want to make fun of him for this bullshit, this motherfucker was correct with his hypothesis. He started just lashing out, having no consciousness over his actions, and Rudo's amulet was basically rendered useless until Zanka Zanka finally came back with a clutch save, albeit bro was still injured and limping harder than motherfuckers who tear their ACL. And I guess everybody want to be scientists now or some shit, because Zanka came up with a hypothesis about Rudo's amulet and its powers, and with this hypothesis, he ended up figuring out he could exploit the amulet to displace himself to anywhere Rudo wants him to end up, allowing Zanka to combo the fuck out of Jabber with the support of Rudo. Like bro, Zanka was deadass playing Wii Sports with this man, hitting bro out of the park. However, despite these insane wombo combos, Rudo ended up getting nicked with Jabber's claws, and it was a wrap. And you would think none of them would for real be able to fight or even move for that matter after this shit, but just a few seconds later, this man Jabber regains consciousness and Zanka is completely perplexed. He's like, ain't no way he's completely fine after I batted this motherfucker like a piñata at 100 miles per hour. Turns out, this man can numb the injuries he has no matter how bad of a beating he just took. This man can deadass just walk around like it's a regular Tuesday after getting jumped and thrown around like a ragdoll. On top of that, Jabber just takes Rudo's paralyzed ass away right in front of him and Zanka couldn't do anything about it. However, the cleaner showed up and ended up getting him back, and when Jabber realized he was about to get jumped and he got orders to dip, before he did, he was talking absolutely crazy to Rudo, saying shit like,
"You got some pretty good game for a worn out, foul mouth, butthurt, ratchety short stacks, feet right."
oh nah, Rudo, after that disrespect, you and Zanka gotta spin back. And one arc later, Zanka finally gets an opportunity to even the score and run the ones with Jabber. No sneaking, no excuses, no bullshit. Just whoever the better fighter was would win. And Zanka, with the whole game on the line, completely sells and bricks that shit. Oh my god. But if I'm being for real, I can't even flame this man that much. It's not that he wasn't putting up much of a fight. In fact, this shit was low-key even, and it could have swung either way, to be honest. It was more the fact that Jabber just be getting more plot devices. Like bro, you're telling me he been holding back the entire time he was fighting him and Rudo the first time? Yeah, nah, this motherfucker got it. He ends up nicking Zanka only once and it was raps. Like you can't tell me that Zanka broke this man's ribcage and was giving him belt to ass with this basic ass wooden staff and still lost, all because he got nicked once with these stupid ass claws. Genuinely, where are the refs? This shit gotta be an offensive foul. He can't keep getting away with shit like this. And Jabber was cooking him so bad that we get a Zanka flashback. And because this video is dedicated to Jabber, I ain't going over this bullshit. But the flashback caused Zanka to get motivated. So after tanking a claw hit from Jabber, bro said, "Hey yo, the clock ain't hit 0 yet, twin, run ahead!" And then it completely cuts to black. And bro, it turns out the entire scene of him getting back up was him just hallucinating, laid out on the floor, off the perk. Yeah, the writer's dead ass hoeing him for real. They for real said some psych a lot. And bro, that's how much Jabber fucked this man up. He ruined his flashback power up. Actually unbelievable. The entire time Zanka thinking the fourth quarter just started. In reality, motherfuckers were already in the post-game interview with Jabber being like, "So Zanka, how do you feel after I just 2-0'd your ass?" Hitting emotes and shit while Zanka over here knocked the fuck out. And this next scene in particular, I think just sums up Jabber's character perfectly. Zanka, while still hallucinating, starts to laugh. And Jabber, seeing this man on a completely different planet, starts being like, "Hey yo twin, let me get what you want." And I'ma let this scene speak for itself. Yeah, bro, I got no words for this. He's just straight tweaking. Like, twin, he ain't need to do all that, bro. The refs need to review this and do something about him, because that's at least 2 technical fouls. He need to be ejected.